thank that and ASB members. It is my distinct honor to recognize 7 individuals this year. For more than 100 years, the American Society of Baking has served the baking industry by respecting its history and time-tested results while embracing innovation and growth. In recognition of that spirit, the Baking Hall of Fame was created in 2005 as a tribute to individuals who made significant contributions to the advancement of the U.S. baking industry. Each year, we induct a class of distinguished leaders and entrepreneurs during our annual conference. The first award we presented during the inaugural ceremony in 2006 in Chicago. This class marks our 20th anniversary, which is amazing to believe at this point. Presenting this honor to some of our industry's greatest contributors and innovators. Inductees are recognized for their achievements, organizational growth, development, equipment design and innovation, advancements in ingredient technology and processing, or in a service related to the commercial baking industry. Candidates may be nominated by any individual or organization that has an interest in the relationship to baking. The Hall of Fame's selection committee is comprised of industry leaders representing a diverse mix of experiences, perspectives, and we review nominations based on a confidential scoring system. Before we get any further, I do want to take a moment to recognize Rowdy Brixey for his service to the committee and as committee chairman. So Rowdy, if you could come on up. Thank you, Rowdy. We do have a plaque. Today we are joined by family, friends, colleagues, customers, and others who are directly impacted by these individuals' work and contributions to our industry. If today is your first time attending BakingTECH or an ASB event, we'd like to welcome you. We're glad to have you with us. So let's begin with our first inductee. James Jim Martin's remarkable 50-year career has transformed Martin's famous pastry shop, Incorporated, from a small family bakery into a globally recognized brand. Beginning at age 9, in his family's garage bakery, Jim learned the fundamentals of baking and business early on. His visionary leadership later drove Martin's strategic shift from a broad product line to a focused portfolio centered on their signature potato rolls, a decision that propelled efficiency, quality, and brand recognition. Under Jim's guidance, Martin expanded from a local operation to a national and international presence, now distributing products to 57 countries. He spearheaded major growth initiatives, including state-of-the-art bakeries in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, and Valdosta, Georgia, and implementing flash freezing technology to meet global demand. His commitment to quality, never compromising on ingredients, earned Martin's a loyal customer base and industry acclaim. Jim's influence extends beyond business success. He served on the American Bakers Association and board of directors for over a decade, shaping industry advocacy and innovation. His leadership earned him honors such as Innovator of the Year in 2013 and Business Person of the Year in 2018. Equally notable is his dedication to community and faith. Martin donates 10 to 15% of their income to charitable causes, supporting veterans, and fosters a corporate culture rooted in integrity and generosity. Today, as executive chair of the board, Jim continues to share his wisdom and values, ensuring Martin's legacy of excellence endures. His story exemplifies entrepreneurial spirit, innovation, and an unwavering commitment to quality, hallmarks of a true Baking Hall of Fame inductee. Please welcome Jim Martin.
being shocked when I heard that I was going to be an inductee. But yeah, here I am. I'm humbled by it. This guy that spearheaded it is sitting down here, Brian Walker, who I've known for, I won't say how many years, a long time. First got acquainted with him in the lab at Wichita for Fargo. It's been a pleasure to work with all the people that I've known here. And I want to thank all the millers for being a great partner, helped us work through details, differences in berry mixes and so forth. If you're ever looking at what it takes to make flour, they've been great. I want to thank the committee who selected me. I'm blown away by the honor. Thank you very much for joining my name with a list of other amazing leaders. I'm still humbled and honored when I think about it. I thought a couple months ago this was happening. Anyway, my parents, Lloyd and Lois Martin, started baking potato rolls and bread in our garage. I was 9 years old. I helped Dad hold up the drywall because he couldn't get a whole sheet up by himself. We bake all week, and then we take our baked goods to the farmer's market. I often help Mother and Dad before school and after school, and at the farmer's market. I learned how to work hard, following their example. They were always experimenting and striving to make their products the best or better. Despite learning to work hard and the value of excellence, which I'm very thankful for now, I was, after all, a kid. So sometimes after an especially long day, I used to say, I am so sick and tired of peeling potatoes, and I will never be in this business. I guess you should never say never. Well, my parents have gone on to heaven now. But some of their values that taught me have stuck with me, and I've done my best to teach them to my children and to instill them in the culture of our business. These values include strategies such as work hard, bake the best products, strive for excellence. They also include personal values such as treat other people as you'd like to be treated, and honor God in all that you do and say. And I truly believe that these things are what lead to the success of a company. In the lobby of our main office in Chambersburg, there's something special and important written into the wall. It's actually kind of made and mortared into the wall. It says, "For what shall it profit a man if he gain the whole world and lose his soul?" Our business has been so blessed. We've grown from baking in my father's little garage to become the bakers of the #1 potato roll in the United States. Yes, as a person of faith, I would be remiss if I didn't point out that the tremendous business growth in baking the #1 potato in the U.S. would feel hollow and meaningless if that's all our business and by extension our lives are about. The very first page of my first business, actually my parents' first business ledger that my parents had, contained a list of their charitable donations they gave to local charities, churches, schools, and other organizations that helped our community. They continue to keep this donation list on the first page of every handwritten financial ledger they ever had. In doing this, it helped them to remember that what was the most important. More important than what they paid for ingredients, more important than their income. The most important thing to them was giving back to God and their community. That was their legacy, and it's one that I've done my best to follow and to pass on to the next generation as well. Speaking of the next generation, all 4 of my children and some of my grandchildren are involved in the company today. I can't tell you what a wonderful, special blessing that is. In fact, 3 of my children are here to meet with Dave, sitting down here at the table. And it was very nice that they could come along and enjoy this presentation. But to my kids, I wanted to say that I love you, and I'm so thankful for each one of you and the joy you bring to my life. I'd like also to take a moment to recognize my beautiful wife, Donna. Why don't you stand up, woman? You may embarrass her, but I found her in the farmer's market. She can explain to you later. that's the truth. Thanks for your loyalty, your strength, and your love. I wouldn't be the man I am if I didn't have you by my side. You can believe that. In closing, I'd like to pray a blessing on y'all. May the Lord bless you and protect you. May the Lord smile on you and be gracious to you. May the Lord show you his favor and give you his peace. This is the first day of Lent. Thanks.
Thank you, Jim. Congratulations and welcome to the Hall. Innovative cereal systems founders Barry Clayton, Gary Newman, Duane Waltos, and Greg Worthington revolutionized the baking industry through their pioneering work at Innovation Cereal Systems, ICS, founded in 1996. Their vision introduced enzyme-based technologies that transformed the industrial baking industry by extending shelf life, clean label solutions, and greater production efficiency. ICS developed diagnostic tools, data-driven approaches that optimated the proofing and baking process, setting new standards for quality and consistency. Their innovations allowed bakers to reduce waste, improve profitability, and significantly lower environmental impact by reducing delivery frequency and carbon footprint. ICS's disruptive technology reshaped business models across North America, influencing major brands and inspiring industry-wide adoption of enzyme solutions. After ICS was acquired by AB Mauri in 2005, the founders' customer-first philosophy and technical expertise continued to guide global baking practices. Beyond technology, these leaders exemplified integrity, collaboration, and mentorship, earning universal respect from peers and competitors. Their contributions have left an enduring legacy of innovation and sustainability, making them true icons of the baking industry. Please welcome Barry Clayton to the stage. Greg's also going to say a few words, so I apologize for leaving you on, all right? So, come over here and I'll give you these. Thank you, guys. Congratulations.
Yes, well, it's certainly an honour of a lifetime and something that was unexpected. I'd like to thank the ASB for this recognition and certainly the Hall of Fame committee for endorsing our nomination. Also like to congratulate the other honorees and especially my friend Tom Woods, who working in the bakery with him at 3 in the morning. I didn't think we were standing here any time. I'd like to send an apology for Gary Newman, our partner. Unfortunately, he's going to have a knee operation in Australia. And also, we miss Duane, our partner who's passed away, and certainly wish he could have been here to see what we achieved. Greg's going to have some words to say after me, but I accept this award on behalf of the full ICS team. We had a dream that we could build something, understanding that bakeries needed, they had to standardise formulations, had to standardise labelling, and to do that you need also to look at your process. So we combined process optimisation with the dream also of taking synthetic materials and unnecessary additives out of bread, pioneered enzyme blends, blended in the right manner, the right concentrations, combined with our process optimisation. We're really proud to build a great team, and this honour is actually, it's a team honour. From our production in Wilsonville, the lab, research, finance, our field application specialist, sales, was just a team that to this day I think is some of the best in the industry, and very proud. I'd like to thank my wife Jo. Unfortunately she couldn't be here, but she did a fantastic job raising my 4 sons. 2 here today, Richard and Johnny. She raised those while I was flying 3 million miles around this country. It's a big country, and bakeries are spread out, so spent a lot of time on aeroplanes flying around. Also like to thank Grant, a Kiwi baker from New Zealand who's flown over here to be with us. Johnny Kruick, come over from Sydney, Australia. So I think it shows that as bakers we stick together. You know, we are a family. Last but not least, most important, I'd like to thank those customers that believed in us. We were a small start-up, you know, trying to make ends meet. The risk that the employees took going with the start-up, that it was risk on their careers, and certainly, thank God, it paid off. But also our customers that believed in us. And a special thanks to A.B. Mary, Rick Olashak, Jeff Ella, the team that clearly nominated us, and for helping make this happen and continuing to develop the ICS dream. So thank you, Greg.
Thanks, Barry. After that long thing, I'm not sure what to say now, but I think I'd like to say that I'm extremely honoured to come from a bakery in Australia all the way through to representing some of these people I've been looking at are quite icons. So I'd like to thank the committee, the ASB, for that recognition. 4 of us had a dream and we lived it. There's not too many people in the world that can say that. I hope today, looking around here, other people will get that chance to live a dream. You know, this is an amazing country. To come here and start from scratch and build something. And I look over here at some of the faces that we hired, and I'm very proud that they joined us and worked with us and also lived that dream. And I hope they continue to do that. Thank you for joining us. I'd also like to thank my wife, who took the risk, gave up a career, a very good career, and we jumped to Portland to follow a dream. Without her, I would not be here. I think also I'd like to thank the customers that supported us and still do through A.B. Mary today. Their belief in our system and our dream, and we shared their dream to be profitable, to be better bakers, and we need to thank them, otherwise we would not be standing here today. Thank you for the recognition. Thank you for the industry. Enjoy.
Next up, Tom Woods has dedicated more than 58 years to advancing the baking industry, serving as a cornerstone of Lewis Bakeries and a trusted voice across multiple industry organizations. Known for his mastery of bakery science and engineering, Tom developed countless formulations, including health-focused varieties like keto and protein breads, while overseeing operations that set benchmarks for quality, safety, and efficiency. Tom's leadership extended beyond technical expertise. He mentored generations of bakers, chaired committees, and actively participated in associations such as the American Bakers Association, Quality Bakers of America, and AIB International. His reputation for integrity, humility, and collaboration earned him admiration throughout the industry. Colleagues describe him as a rare leader who combines scientific rigor with hands-on experience, equally comfortable in boardrooms and on the bakery floor. Tom Wood's lifelong commitment to innovation, education, and ethical leadership has strengthened both his company and the bakery community at large. His legacy reflects the very best of the Hall of Fame's values. Please welcome Tom Woods.
Well, Barry, thanks so much. My favorite Kiwi. I want to acknowledge the family that is here. First, I want to recognize my wife, Connie. Being the wife to a bakery manager is not easy. More than once, I would call and tell Connie I was on my way home. 5 hours later, I would show up due to an oven or other piece of equipment failing. My mom is here. What a blessing. My mom's a special person, 8 kids, one of the first nurse practitioners in southern Indiana. My son Tommy, of whom I'm very proud, is here. Tommy's a patent attorney who's much smarter than his old man. Several brothers and sisters are here, and being a family business, several cousins. As with most success, mine began with a very good education and excellent educators. I am lucky to have attended Rex Mundy High School, where the teachers had high standards, and I was fortunate to have a retired Air Force colonel as a math and science teacher. Tough guy. I attended Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology, where I received my BSME. Rose is a well-regarded engineering school, and at Rose I was a member of Pi Tau Sigma Engineering Fraternity and Sigma Nu Social Fraternity. Sigma Nu has been a lifetime joy, as I still get together with 30 or so brothers all over the country. There are some of my frat brothers here whom I know after 55 years are truly excited to hear me speak. You guys are a blessing. One bakery story while I was in college. I worked driving a bread truck in the summer between my junior and senior year. I lived in the frat house. Several of the guys in the house played football, so every day we'd go to work, come back to the house, change, go to Indiana State to work out and repeat. I was on a route requiring an evening pull-up, so I told the guys I would be late to the bar. Well, the fullback and defensive tackle said they'd help me. We got our stacks of bread, headed to the bread rack. Some competitors were there and had taken my space. I nicely asked them to not take my space as I was trying to put myself through college. They informed me they would do what they wanted. I informed them I would kick their rear ends. So the defensive tackle cocks back and he says, "Woods, this bread business is a lot of fun. The competitors may still be running, and my space was left alone." My senior year at Rose, Jack Jr. asked me to talk to him before I made a career decision. Quite frankly, I had not really considered the bakery as a career after engineering school, but Jack was persuasive and I joined Lewis. I then attended AIB in Chicago, where I learned about the science of dough, mixing and baking, and I did well at AIB, finished at the top of my class, and had the honor of being class president. At AIB, I had the good fortune of having Bill Zimmerman as a lab partner. Bill knew everything there was to know about a bakery lab, and since I had just gotten out of engineering school, I knew math and science. We made a good team and remained lifelong friends. I've worked various bakery jobs, including sanitation, production, maintenance, and bread routes. I've done about every job there is to do in a bakery. After AIB, I went to the Evansville plant as a production superintendent under the excellent mentorship of Charlie Hallman. In 1976, I was offered the job as assistant plant manager in the Cape Girardeau bakery. I worked for a year under Rusty Schaefer, from whom I learned a lot about sweet goods, donuts, and Danish. When he retired in 1977, I was promoted to plant manager. I was able to grow the Cape Girardeau Bakery by developing new products and expanding their customer base. In 1977, I married Connie and we lived in Cape Girardeau. As I said earlier, being the wife of a bakery plant manager is not easy. As I worked long, unpredictable hours and took phone calls in the middle of the night, Connie handled her job with grace, and in 1983 we had our son Tommy. We lived in Cape Girardeau until 1988, when Lewis opened a larger facility in Vincennes to replace the smaller, outgrown Cape Girardeau bakery. Opening a new facility with new people was very difficult, but we got it done. The bakery in Cape Girardeau in Vincennes grew with new products and new customers, and in 1996 I was offered the job of Senior VP of Manufacturing for Lewis. As Senior VP for Lewis, it was necessary for me to wear a lot of hats, including manufacturing, product development, equipment, and evaluation. One aspect of my career I am particularly proud of is the various products I have developed or had a hand in developing. Some of these products include Healthy Life fiber breads, half-loaf breads, keto breads, and buns. Being a small company, our product development went like this. Jack, later Dean, would come up with an idea, ask me about it. I would tell him if I thought we could do it or not. I would write a formula, run a small lab test, verify the claims, then take it to the bakery to test. Later, Lewis hired Joyce Smith to verify claims, and that certainly made my job easier. The industry has dramatically changed since I started. Our assortment in 1970 was a white open top, a sandwich, a dirty wheat, a rye bread, a hamburger bun, and a hot dog bun. No one envisioned bread with fiber or reduced sugar, and who would have ever thought there would be such a thing as bread without flour? I am truly grateful for the many teachers and mentors I've encountered through my education and career. The things I learned from Jack Lewis Jr., Jack Lewis Sr., Charlie Hallman, Rusty Schaefers, and others have been invaluable. Baking is truly an art and a science, and I feel like you never stop learning. I am fortunate to still be working part-time. I work with some great people, and I enjoy what I do. Finally, I want to thank the many hardworking and talented people in the baking industry I have had the pleasure of working with over the years. I am especially grateful to the people who nominated me to the Baking Hall of Fame. It's truly humbling for a guy that is used to wearing whites and being on the floor of a bakery to be inducted into such a prestigious group. Thank you.
Next up, Robert Bob Zielsdorf transformed industrial baking equipment during his tenure as chairman and CEO of the Peerless Group, guiding the company from a family-owned business to a global leader in mixing and bakery systems. Under Bob's leadership, Peerless introduced advanced solutions for dough handling, forming, and production of cookies, crackers, and snack cakes, serving customers worldwide. Strategic acquisitions included Royal Bakery Equipment, Fedco Systems, and Peters Machinery, cementing Peerless's reputation for innovation and reliability. Bob's influence extended beyond his corporate success. He had leadership roles in key industry organizations, contributed to IBIE committees, and earned the BEMA Lifetime Achievement Award in 2010 for his lasting impact. His philanthropic efforts through the Zielsdorf Family Foundation and partnerships with Notre Dame's Pulte Institute have supported education, workforce development, and global social initiatives. A visionary leader, dedicated mentor, Bob exemplifies innovation, service, and integrity. His contributions have shaped modern baking technology and enriched communities worldwide, making him a deserving inductee into the Baking Hall of Fame. Please welcome Bob to the stage.
Thank you, Tom, and thanks everybody for being here. I have a few remarks that I was going to make to thank a whole lot of people that had a positive influence on my life and my career. Unfortunately, we're running a little behind, and my car is waiting to get me to the airport. So I'm going to just say a blanket thank you to everyone and get right to what I really want to do, which is to tell my story in a song. I am become in retirement a songwriter, and so I've tried to synthesize 30 years into a couple-minute song, and I want to just get right to the heart of that.
Started out a small voice where the big ones ruled the floor. David with a blueprint up against Goliath's roar. Baker Perkins AMF, they said I'd never last, but every mixer's built from steel, smelted in the past. Peerless was a promise that we'd rise or we would fall. We saw it 30 times, but still knew every name we'd call. Opened up the doors at Lima, let some sunlight flood the room. Turned Old Boys Club to open air where fresh ideas could bloom. I served with pride at AIB and ABA as well. Privy Council and the Expo, all the stories I could tell. It wasn't measured just in yield, dollars earned or spent. It was caring for 100 homes, the lives our labor meant.
Thank you. That's my story. And if you like the song, there's 22 more on every streaming service, music streaming platform. So go to Bob Zielsdorf Evolution album and enjoy it. Thank you. Gather all my stuff up. So.
You got a full stack of things there. Thank you all for attending today's Hall of Fame luncheon, and I think we should give all our new inductees a round of applause.